when suddenly, gradually, all went out, all that early April morning light, and she found herself in the... What? Who? No! She! Found herself in the dark, but not exactly incessant, for she could still hear the buzzing so cold in the ears. An array of light came and went, such as the moon might cast, drifting in and out of cloud, but so dulled, feeling so dulled she did not know what position she was in, imagine what position she was in, whether standing or sitting with the brain, what kneeling, yes, whether standing or sitting or kneeling with the brain, what lying, yes, whether standing or sitting or kneeling or lying with the brain still in the way, for her first thought was, oh, long after a sudden flash, brought up as she had been to believe, with the other waifs in a merciful God. First thought was, oh, long after a sudden flash, she was being punished for her sins, a number of which then, further proof her needed to flash through her mind, one after another, then dismissed as foolish. Oh, long after this thought dismissed, she suddenly gradually realized, she was not suffering. Imagine not suffering. Indeed, she cannot remember offhand when she had suffered less, unless, of course, this was meant to be suffering. Ha! Thought to be suffering, just as the odd time in her life, when clearly intended to be having pleasure, she was in fact having none, not the slightest. In which case, of course, that notion of punishment for some sin or other, for its own sake, or for no particular reason, for its own sake, that notion of punishment which had first occurred to her, but up as she had been to believe, with the other waifs in a merciful God. First occurred to her that dismissed as foolish was perhaps not so foolish. After all, so on, all that vain reasoning, still another thought, oh, long after sudden flash, very foolish really, but what? The buzzing, yes, all the time the buzzing so called in the ears, well, not in the ears entirely, in the skull, dull roar in the skull, and all this time this ray or beam, like a moonbeam, but probably not, certainly not, always in the same spot, now bright, now shrouded, but always in the same spot, as no moon could, no moon, just all part of the same wish to torment, though actually in point of fact, not in the least, not a twinge, so far, so far, very foolish really, but so like her in a way that she might do well to groan on and off, writhe, she could not as if in actual agony, but could not bring herself, some flaw in her makeup, incapable of deceit, or the machine, more like the machine, so disconnected, never got the message, or like numbed, couldn't make a sound, no sound of any kind, no screaming for help, for example, if she felt so inclined to scream. Ah! Then listen. Scream again. Ah! Listen again. No, spared that, all signs of the grave, no part, but the buzzing, yes, all signs of the buzzing, so cold, no part of her moving that she could feel, just the eyelids, presumably, on and off, shut out the light, reflex, they call it, no part of her moving that she could feel, but the lids, even best of times, who feels them, opening, shutting, all that moisture, but the brain still so sufficiently, oh, very much so, at this stage, in control, under control, to question even this, for all that April morning, so it reasoned, that April morning, she fixing with her eye a distant bell, as she hastened towards it, fixing it with her eye, lest it elude her, it had not all gone out, all that light of itself, without any on her part, so on it reasoned, vain questionings, and all dead still, sweet solid as a grave, when suddenly she realized, gradually, she realized, words were, what the buzzing is, all the time the buzzing so called, when suddenly, gradually, she realized, what, who, no, she!